Hi guys, Vanessa Fernandez here, Diamond Beachbody coach, and I wanted to talk with you about the exact amount of time that you are going to have to invest into your Beachbody business in order to be successful, because we want to count the cost before we commit to something, right? And everyone wants to know, how much time am I going to have to pour into this? We don't want to overcommit ourselves. So I'm going to share with you how much time I invested in my business initially and how much time that I'm spending on it right now. But first, let me share a little bit of my story. When I started coaching, I had a 4-month-old baby, a 2-year-old, and a 3-year-old. And none of them went to daycare or had any type of preschool that they went to. They were home with me all day, every day. I had no nanny to help or anything like that. It was just me and the kids. Was not sleeping through the night. My son actually didn't sleep through the night until over a year old. So that was fun. I was nursing every 3 hours my 4-month-old, and I was trying to potty train my 2-year-old, and my 3-year-old son is he's a people person, so he's very needy and desirous of attention from mommy and interaction from mommy. So those are my kids, and that's how it was when I first started my coaching business. So at the same time, my husband was finishing up his master's degree. And while he was incredibly supportive of me starting this business, he just didn't have any time to really help me out with the kids or free me up to focus on my business without the kids all around. So he's a teacher, and he would get up and go to work very early, would do some studying, come home for dinner, and then go out again and do more studying and more reading. So that was my environment. If I always tell people who say, well, I don't know if I could have the time for it. If I could make the time for it with 3 kids, not sleeping through the night, really no help with childcare for my kids. I had other responsibilities even outside of coaching with my church, ministries that I was committed to doing. So all that to say, not that I'm anything special, but it's you have time for what you make time for. And if I could find time in the middle of that situation to be a coach, anybody can. What it boils down to is your motivation and your reason for being a coach. My motivation and reason was incredibly strong. As I said, my husband was doing his master's program and he wasn't around much. And because he was a teacher, he felt like he needed to probably take on a second job once he finished the master's program in order to provide for the things that we wanted to do with our family. And I was like, I am not okay with this. I don't want him taking a second job after the master's program. I'm sick of him not being around. I want our kids to just have more time with daddy. I love my family. I love my husband so much. And I just was like, I want more of him here with us. I want more family time. And so I looked into Beachbody coaching because I thought, well, maybe there's something I can do that can make up this difference. And that's really what attracted me to it, because I could see the earning potential. And of course, I had my doubts if I could actually be a successful coach. Every coach does. Every coach starts off thinking, gosh, could I really do this? Who am I? Like, I'm just a mom. I barely have any time to put into this business. Is it actually going to be worth it for me? But as I began learning about the different coaches, and as I began seeing that these are just regular women like me, and all that it took was them being consistent, was them wanting to help other people, was them wanting to give and be generous and be brave and be vulnerable and inspire others, I started to see how simple it really was, and that I was making it more complicated in my mind than it was. And I started to believe that I could do this. So when I first started, the way that I fit it into my schedule is I woke up early at 5. It's actually 5 o'clock now. So I woke up at 5, and I would get about an hour of work done in the morning. And then I would do my workout, and I would read a little bit until my kids woke up. And then in the afternoon, my 3-year-old actually never napped. He cut out his naps early. So I never even really had like a dedicated nap time. My nap time just meant the younger 2 were asleep, and I just had my my 3-year-old. So I would try and do about half an hour. That was about all he would give me to do a little bit of work in the afternoon. And then at night, about 3 times a week, I had a free evening, and I would put another maybe hour or two into my business. So all in all, probably works out to about 12 to 15 hours a week that I would spend, and that was just hour in the morning, half an hour in the afternoon, and a couple nights a week, an hour at night. And again, that's because I really want to build a full-time income. This isn't what everyone invests in it, but that's what I did at the beginning. And to be honest, even now with a large team, even now as my responsibilities have grown, that's pretty much the same amount of time that I invest in my business now. At this point, I do have someone who watches my kids for 4 hours on Fridays, and that just gives me a little bit larger chunk of time to really invest in specifically training my team and mentoring my team and really helping my coaches to see success, which isn't something that I had at the beginning. But other than that day, my schedule is pretty much the same. I still wake up at 5. I still get my work done in the morning. I do a little in the afternoon and then at night. So I'm sharing all this with you to say that if this is something that you see the potential in, because guys, this opportunity is amazing. There's nothing like it. If you see the potential in this business and you can see a vision for your own life, that even though you may not feel like you are coach material today on day one, nobody is. I wasn't. I hadn't worked out in years. My diet was abysmal. I had no idea how to do sales or online marketing, or I had no business experience. But here's what I had. I had a desire to work hard. I had a good motivation, my family, and I had at least a little bit of enough belief in myself that even if I'm not what I want to be today, I could be a little bit more if I decided to work hard and grow myself. So I realized that if I just learned a little bit every single day, after months of learning a little bit every single day, after a year of learning a little bit every single day, I would learn a lot. And I would be a little bit better and a little bit more than I was on day one. So if you have that vision, and if you can believe that you can grow, that you can become an amazing coach, if you're willing to learn and if you're willing to work hard, then there is no limit to what you can achieve. If you look at these top coaches, on day one, they knew nothing. They were just committed to becoming better. They weren't a top coach material when they first started. They'll tell you that. Everybody will tell you. They weren't top coach material when they first started. But the awesome thing about Beachbody is that the learning opportunities are limitless. There is so much information out there. There is so much training. There are so many calls. When you join my team, there are 4 training calls every week that you can avail yourself of. On top of the hundreds of videos on YouTube, on top of all the training in the Coach Online office. Like, the problem is not that there's not enough training and information. The problem is that most people get overwhelmed with all of that and they give up. So if you can decide that you're going to do a little bit every day, that you're going to invest whatever time you can, however much you can, because let me tell you, with that baby not sleeping through the night, I didn't wake up at 5 a.m. every single morning. But that was my goal, and that's what I did the majority of the time. And that's what I sort of pushed myself to try and do as much as I could, to give my best every single day. And some days, you moms know this, some days your best is just keeping the kids alive. And that was true for me. Don't get to thinking that I'm like this super mom, because I'm really not. But if you're willing to give your best every single day, you're willing to do as much as you possibly can. And some days it's a lot and some days it's not. But there's absolutely no reason why you cannot be successful at this business. So I hope that that this has given you some idea of the time that it takes, that it's given you some idea of the resources that are available to you. And I hope that you can really believe that you could do this, because you absolutely can. I'm telling you, if I can do this, I was the most shy person ever in high school. I couldn't talk to anybody. I couldn't sell to anybody. I was the most lazy person. I would do the bare minimum and just, you know, barely squeak by in school. I was always naturally pretty good at school, so I would be so lazy and just, do whatever it takes to pass. Giving extra above and beyond, pushing myself, that just didn't exist. And so if I can become more than what I was at day one, anybody can. All it takes is that why, that desire, that motivation that says, you know what, I don't feel like doing this right now, but there's a picture right there of my family, and that's who I'm doing it for, and that's why I'm going to keep going when I feel discouraged or when I feel like I'm not where I want to be yet. So anyways, I didn't mean to get off on that whole tangent, but I hope this did give you some good information on how much time it takes to build a Beachbody business. If you are interested in learning more, or you just want to chat with me and you have more questions, that's awesome. I would love to get on the phone with you, or we can exchange emails. My information should be right below here. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.